honored to introduce to you my very special guest, who is a good friend and a great mentor who helped me in a lot of ways building my global business. He knows he's very special to me. This gentleman does not need a flowery introduction because, when people simply hear his name, oh goodness, they know who he is. And this person is obviously loved by many people. And you'll find out why a little later. He's so much fun to be with. No dull moment. He is raw and real and very sincere. We might have to cook him because he's raw, right? Without further ado, please welcome Mr. Tony Krashowetz, who is here to inspire us with his amazing story of how he became a very successful global business owner. Okay, so Tony, can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. Thank you, Kai. Very humbled to be on here.
Well, it's actually an honor, a privilege that you said yes to my invitation. So I'm ever grateful to you. But of course, Tony, I'd like to just get the thing rolling, right?
Yeah.
Before you created the global business, your very successful global business. Please let the viewers get to know you a little bit. And so please take the time to tell us about your journey in life. Let's get a little bit of your background. Tell us, who is Tony Krashowetz? What is your story?
My story is just, I guess, kind of ordinary. I'm not, grew up in Southern California, single mom, went through high school like everybody else does. I guess where I turned the tables a little bit is I decided not to go to college. And that's not for everybody, you guys. And that's perfectly okay. We've got kids in college, kids that don't go. I've got family that have gone to college, and we've all kind of sought out different ways, career paths and creating income. And I decided when I got out of high school that I didn't want to follow that path of going to college. And I had this big background in the moving industry. So my grandfather, and who was my dad basically too, taught me a lot of principles. And just growing up around him and in the moving business, he actually managed a company for 45 years in San Diego. So at one point, my whole family was in the moving business, whether in the office, on the trucks, pack crews and things. And so I learned a lot about that industry from a teenager on up. Actually had even an older brother who drove long haul trucking. And I went for a summer, my 11th grade summer. I spent the whole summer on the road with him, making money and seeing the country. And I think that kind of led to me becoming an owner operator later. But that's what I decided to do. And I actually moved to Seattle, Washington, got married, started a family. And I worked locally. I punched the clock by the hour, moving furniture, pack moves, office moves. And I did a little bit of regional moving, just maybe a few hundred miles away and back. And that's what I did in the beginning. And then in 1993, I decided to make a change and become an entrepreneur. And so that's just a little bit about me and my background. So I live in Southern Utah now, and I'm married, and my wife and I have a blended family with 11 kids. So she has triplet boys, and I have 6 boys and 2 girls. We have the 3 youngest at home. We have 5 grandchildren. And so that's just kind of where I'm at today. And I'll hit a little bit of my story a little bit too with some of these other questions you have. That's just in a nutshell where I came from. And so all those years in trucking, I think I spent about almost 24 years.
Wow.
When I was 24 years old, I bought my first truck and trailer and became an owner operator. And that's where I started hauling our furniture, moving people's personal goods, long haul, all 48 states and in parts of Canada. And so that's just a little bit about me and who I am and where I'm at today. I do something a lot different today, and we're going to hit on some of that. As these questions you got, I love them. I love them, Kai.
Wow. First of all, 11 children. Are you running for 12?
No, I get shot.
I just want to know.
We have 2 dogs.
Okay, that's it.
We're letting our kids have kids, and any of those on here seeing this that have grandchildren, they're worth everything you go through raising your kids.
I know.
They're just it's just a grand time in life that we're in right now.
Wow, that's a lot of, happy family. The more, the better, the merrier. That's what they say, right? And my goodness, you probably you enjoyed traveling on your trucking business, right? Traveling, but always away from home.
I'm one of those that likes to have fast-paced, changing, variable. You know what I mean? Not
right.
I guess I'm not too much routine can kind of get boring. So I think the trucking and the
Oh.
moving thing, just really going from different places and things, really appealed to me. And I really, I sounds kind of crazy, but I liked it.
Oh, really? Yeah. That's
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
interesting because
yeah.
you'll never know what tomorrow will bring. Like it's different every time you travel. It's different. It's unpredictable and it's not boring like you said. It's really cool.
And
Yeah,
I
that's
like
pretty
moving
cool.
furniture and the physical part of that. And then it just, yeah.
You got to do what you got to do, right?
Yes, exactly,
Yes.
exactly.
So, wow, thank you, Tony. Thank you at least for telling us your background, and it's interesting, gig that you had before you became a very successful global entrepreneur. And so, our topic for today is taken from my book, which is the fourth chapter of my book, which is about pursuit of greatness. And I particularly pick you because I know that you have this, my goodness, you've got to have a great work ethics in order for you to do those kind of things. 24 years in the tracking business, right? So pursuit of greatness. Let me ask you this. What made you break through in life? What triggered you to make a decision to thrive? And was there a cause that you were trying to champion? Because there's a lot of sacrifices behind, what you have, what you are today before you
Well,
achieving your greatness in life.
yeah, absolutely. And even when I went from working on the local crew and being an employee to buying my own truck and trailer, there had to be a serious commitment there. And like you say, what was it that caused you? And it was because I just wanted to do more. I think anybody wants to create more value in their life and create more income and financial security. And I saw that as a path at that time at 24, that buying my own truck and trailer and becoming an owner operator would give me the opportunity to do that. And also being your own boss, I think some people are wired that way or desire that. I desired that even when I was younger. And so that was a great, great business that I was in. And then as 2009 rolled around, I think there's probably maybe 2 to 3 times that we actually really evaluate what we've been doing. We kind of do a little self-analysis, I call it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we just have a good discussion with ourselves. And I really felt I'd done everything I could in the moving business and really felt that I've grown a lot and learned a lot of skills and different things. And I was ready for the next one. And that's when I got into this global distribution business and network marketing. And that came along and got in front of me when I was at that point of looking for that change, so to speak. And it fit perfectly. And man, it put me in that. And I'll tell you this on here, you guys, if you're comfortable, the thing that makes you happy, and really is when you get uncomfortable and you're growing. When you're growing and learning things, it's exciting, it's scary all at the same time, but then you'll kind of get in a pattern where you get comfortable and it gets routine. That's really what I like. And I think any entrepreneur, any person that wants to progress, they look for that. And then they come at different times in our life. So in 2009, that was a big transition for me. And at that time, I guess the thing that really drove me to do that is I thought, I could be doing something more. Not that what I was doing wasn't good, it was awesome, but I could be doing
Sure.
something more. And also there was this component that I was looking at my life with 8 kids at that time. And I thought, what can I do to create more time? And that was another big driver, is how can I get involved in something in a way of creating income that can actually give me more time to have that time balance of making income and doing the things that you want to do. So that's the drivers for me. And when I made those switches, was more value, creating more financial security, and then how do I answer that time equation? Because I think almost everybody has to factor that in, that how much am I going to work? How much time am I going to spend with family? And it seems to be always out of balance. So I guess at the end of to answer that question, I was looking for a way to balance time and income.
You're looking for that change, right? Everybody needs to have that change at some point in our life, right? And you did it. You did it. You achieved greatness in life, and that's truly wonderful. And what made you decide to kind of you haven't done that before? Did you do that network marketing business model before? Have you ever done that
No,
before?
no, I hadn't. I mean, I was aware of it, knew it, and never saw myself doing something like that, until I got into that frame of mind where I was looking for that change. And then when it came along and I sat down and looked at it, I thought, wow, this is actually what I'm looking for right now. But I hadn't done it
Wow.
before.
And when did you realize that it is really for you? Like how many years? 1 year, 2 years? Then you realize you're going to commit to it.
It wasn't, I guess, and again, it's in my DNA. I guess if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. If I'm not, I'm not.
Oh,
I
okay.
just decided right off the bat, I'm going to give it at least 5 years
Mm-hmm.
because really, I guess probably even when I bought my first truck, I knew I wasn't just going to buy it and try it out
Right.
because that's expensive.
Right.
And so,
Okay.
but I
I
knew
know the
I was
one.
going to be in there 5 to 10 years and end up being around 24. With this one here, I knew I was going to give it at least 5 years. And the beauty of this one was that there wasn't any risk really involved like there was in buying the trucks.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there wasn't the
There
financial
was
risk
no
there at
risk.
all. And also I could actually do it on the side was the other part too. It's something I could work on and between the driving truck and moving. And it took me about a year of doing that. And then I made the decision in that year that I was going to go ahead and park the truck,
Decision.
set that business down. I did, what I could there with that. And then it was putting full 1,000% focus on building this distribution model out.
And obviously it was all worth it, right?
Oh, yes. Yeah, absolutely
Absolutely.
worth it. Yes.
Yeah, because I'm with you on this business global distribution. And so Tony, do you think that there were people behind your success? Do you think, I mean, were there people who inspired you to become who you are today, basically?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, and I remember hearing this philosophy and see if this makes sense for you guys. And when I heard it, I thought how profound, and I wish I'd been taught it earlier. Is that if you want to change anything in your life, you actually have to take personal inventory of your relationships and see who is you're surrounded by. And it's not, and
Mm-hmm.
it's who you're listening to because really birds of a feather flock together. And I'll give you a quick
True.
example. When I went from employee in the moving business, and I had a lot of moving friends, and then I went into being an owner operator. It's a different deal. You're owning a truck and all that. So my relationships changed even then to people that drove truck and were owner operators in the moving business. So I had several mentors and friends that I learned and gleaned a lot from them, and we learned from each other. So here I had to look at this and I thought, okay, I need to find mentors in this business model. Okay. And I did. And I started identifying people that could help me. And Clint Boyles is huge.
Yes.
As him and I built the relationship when I first started learning, we were both kind of cutting our teeth at the same time in this business. And we're the best of friends today. And I have many mentors in and out of this business model. I mean, there's some that I've read and watched and listened to, Tony Robbins, Jim Rohn, and others that we glean and learn from. Robert Kiyosaki's another one that's been huge for me. And then within our business, I've had several people. So again, 5. Think about the 5 people you listen to and hang
Five.
around the most and listen to. And then you might need to change those up a little bit, depending on
Uh-huh.
what you want. And anybody's experienced this if they've ever started to go exercise or lose weight or do different things, they'll have a few different friends or people that'll come into that 5 that'll help them do it. So just take a evaluation of your relationships. And again, it's whether it's financial, whether it's, depending on what the focus is, and look at that.
Absolutely, because we can't do this alone, right? We
No,
cannot
and
just
it's
take
no
the
fun to do
credit
that alone.
alone. Yeah. 5. So 5 people that you chose to associate with, and those are the people and other people that surrounded you. And also you kind of mentioned that you are inspired by Tim Robbins, and all those people that helped you become who you are today, that you achieve that greatness in life. So, lots of sacrifices out there, right? Can you tell the audience or our viewers, our friends out there, that, simply there is no victory behind, without sacrifices? And can you expound on those sacrifices that they have to really face in order for them to achieve what they really want to achieve?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Sacrifice is a requirement to be successful in any arena. It just doesn't come easy. And I think a lot of times, especially in the media world we live in today, in movies and things, we'll go watch movies or watch sports events, and we see these incredible people that are just, the best professionals in those arenas. And I think, wow, they're so gifted. We don't realize the sacrifice. You hear the stories about Michael Jordan, how he got cut from the high school basketball team, had to walk on in North Carolina, work, 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 work. And so, yeah, it's going to take a lot of work and dedication and sacrifice, but it's always worth it. because anything you do is going to, it's going to require sacrifice, and that's where it makes it so worth doing. And it's just a requirement, I think, in any element in growing and developing, is that sacrifice has got to come in.
I like
I think
that.
it's just
It's a
really, to be honest with
requirement.
you, Kai, I think it's giving up the little things. The little things
Yeah,
that really don't do a lot for us. And that's another thing to actually look at and evaluate in yourself. What are you spending your time on? What
absolutely.
value does that bring to you? And it's okay to relax and do things, but
Sure.
again, yeah, yeah.
But it's always a decision. It's always choices. Bottom line is choices and decisions that we make, right? So, looking at you, like people see you like just such a cool guy and always upbeat and always happy. What's your secret? Do you have down moments, Tony?
I mean, I think we all do. I just think that from the experiences I had growing up, it was some difficult, challenging times there, even getting up through high school. And so I learned a lot from my grandfather and my mom, and they're always happy. And so I think really how we react to what happens to us is what matters most.
Hmm.
And I always think, why not be happy about it? Because you could be down and let yourself really get put in a position where you just feel so down and you don't want to do anything. And I decided, I'll control what I can control, but if there's things that are out of my control, that's just don't worry about those.
Oh, I like that.
Let's just control what you can do and
That you
control. And
can
you have
control.
control of you. I have control of myself, right? Each of us does. And so I just decided to be happy no matter what's
Hmm.
going on. And we've all had incredible struggles in our lives. My first wife passed away in 2010, and that was a hard deal. But I stayed happy and positive, and because there wasn't anything I could do to change that, right? There's anything I could do to change that, and so you just keep moving forward. I think that's the key to anything, is no matter what's going on, just keep moving forward. Doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down, it's how many times you're willing to get back up and just keep facing the challenges. And why not do it happy?
Wow, I
Yeah.
like that. I like that. But can you please share a little bit to our audience, like a few things that they can do in order for them to stay motivated? Because the world right now, as you know, it's wounded. I mean, a lot of people are hurting, a lot of people are in pain. So maybe some golden nuggets out there to kind of like for them to stay motivated.
Well, and it's really, this is a great time to really evaluate. And I think when I look back at that trucking decision, I think part of it in the '09 too is we had that economic downturn, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's part of what brought me into looking at a different way of making income and making some changes, because there were some tough things we went through. I think a lot of people did during that time. So again, look at where you're at right now and ask yourself, is there any changes that you want to make? That's where everything starts. You got to be willing to make some changes, because if you're not at that point yet, you're just going to stay where you're at. Okay. And so
Mm-hmm.
do some self-evaluation. Then there's just three things I think that, and again, these are things that everybody learns in the success in being successful, is number one, do you have that desire for change? And how much does it burn? Is it just a little bit of like, kind of cool if we could change a little bit? Or do you like, what? I've had enough of this and this. And I love Tony Robbins. He says, most people come out when their back's against the wall. Think about that. You get pushed and pushed, and you get pushed into a corner, so to speak. And he says, most people, that's when they come fighting like a lion. They come out like, I've had enough of this and that, and I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Now
Mm-hmm.
I'm focused and I'm going this way. So that's that burning desire for change. And then, are you coachable and teachable? So whatever you're going to pick, right? And just again, find your mentors and find the five that can help you, but be coachable and teachable. It's okay to say you don't know. I don't know how to do this. I'm not sure. Teach me. And I think being in the moving business, because there's not a school that you go to learn out of the textbook, it's actually on the job training, and you learn from other people how to do that business. It really applied to the business that I'm in now, is that I just was very coachable and teachable. I said, look, I'm willing to admit I really don't know anything about this. Show me the steps that I need to take and the pattern I need to follow to be
Mm-hmm.
successful like you. And I did that. I just followed that pattern. And then the last one is work ethic. You got to have work ethic in anything. And again, we can see all these amazing people anywhere. and we think, oh, they're gifted, they have this or that. Get rid of all that. The thing that made them different is that they just got their sleeves rolled up and they went to work and they were consistent at it and they just did it. They put the work in.
I
So
like
that's one thing
those.
I'll tell you right there is that you just be willing to put the work in to achieve it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Those are the three key components, you guys, in order for you to be successful. That was a golden nugget from you, Tony. And what about those people who are so fearful? They're so afraid to fail, and we gotta let them know that we, both of us, also, at one point in our life, that we were also there. We were also fearful, but can you just give them a takeaway, like words of wisdom to our viewers that, about the fear, and let go of the fear so that, maybe perhaps they can start moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, fear is associated in it, and it comes into anything we haven't done before. Anytime we go to do something different or new, we get out of that comfort zone that I talked about earlier, and then the fear comes up. And I'll tell you this, it doesn't go away, but if you
Mm-hmm.
push through it and you keep doing it, it'll disappear, because on the other side of fear is that freedom that you're actually looking for. You got to push through that wall of that fear, and everybody has that. I mean, it's you've had it, I've had it. And all the people that I know that
Mm-hmm.
come into this arena to build a business and have, I haven't done this before and it's kind of awkward and scary, and just push through that fear. And tell you what, when you conquer that and you're on the other side of that, you actually sit there and look back and you're like, oh, what was I worried about? Because it's here. It's
Right.
all just our self-talk. It's all just what we're hearing
Self-talk.
inside.
Mm-hmm.
That's there, and that's it. And we're like, wow, I look back at the things that caused fear in me through building this business, and even in the trucking, when I bought a truck and took off for the first few times, like, what am I doing? But you just keep doing it, and you just get through those moments, and you conquer it, and you get on the other side of fear, and there's a freedom there that's just incredible.
Wow. Guess what, you guys? Tony was once fearful as well. So we're all human beings. So, as he said, keep on pushing it, keep on doing it until the fear disappears. And that's when freedom takes place. Okay. So, Tony, it's such a wonderful, blissful afternoon or evening for some of you guys. This is such a great conversation and interview with you. And like I said a while ago to you, before this show happened, really, you're gonna rock this, and you did. And thank you very much for your genuine advice and for your genuine talk today, and for adding value to our viewers. As always, we love you, they love you, I love you, and thank you again for your valuable time today.
You bet, Kai. And again, it's been a humbling and an honor to be on here with you. Thank you for having me on, and look forward to seeing you soon.
Of course, you're my big mentor. Thank you so much. And guys, don't forget, Lion at Heart in Amazon, available on June 30th. And join me in our VIP book party lunch. Okay, take care.